Hello again, thanks for joining us. Today just going to be doing a very quick review on the 1/48 scale Spitfire MK Vb from Airfix. Now this kit's been around for a few years now. I managed to pick this one up at a very good price, less than half price, so I was really happy with that. And it's basically just because the box is a bit tatty, but inside everything's fine. So I thought we'd take this opportunity to just give you a quick look at what we've got in here. You can see the detail on the kit there looks pretty good on the outside of the box, and a little bit of detail on the actual plane itself. And you've got two different marking options. So you've got one which was in service in 1942, and another one which is part of the historic aircraft collection at the Imperial War Museum. So nice, good box art too. Really happy with that. Bit of a shame it's a bit bent, but hey, that happens. Can't complain when you get a nice discount. All right. So, all the parts come bagged, as typical with most manufacturers these days, which is good. However, with this kit, it's quite surprising. I didn't know a lot about this kit, but the actual build of this kit itself is really interesting. We'll go through that if you haven't seen this before. So you've got your own little cockpit tub, which you build up as a separate assembly. So you can see it all here, and that gets installed in the fuselage. But you've got your pilot seats, everything like that. Now you've got a lot of options with what you can do. So whether or not you want the pilot in, moving on, control column, canopy, everything there. That's all fine. Moving on. All right. So here's the first option that we want to talk about, is whether or not you want the cockpit open or closed. So it actually comes with a couple of different cockpits, and they both have options on opening and closing, so different assemblies, which is really nice. If you want to do that, you've got to cut out the little door on the side there, but that's easily enough done. Very neat idea. And you can see cockpit tub put in, assemble. All the detail on that looks lovely too. And it mentions the cutting out again as to what you want to do. So it's great. Next thing, which I found really interesting, is excuse me, is the fuel tank and the front of the canopy. So you actually have different choices between which canopies to put on. One's a bit thicker, a bit bulkier. I will show you those in a minute, but that depends. I mean, which one you decide to use changes which part of the fuselage you want to use. So if we just go back to the box, you'll see. Sorry. On the side here, it's a bit hard to see, but see how the top canopy looks slightly different to the bottom canopy? It looks a bit like the diagonal's a bit bigger. All right, and that's got more of a dip in the lower part of the window, so that's the difference between the canopies there. So it just depends on which plane you want to model as to what you're going to use. Internal structure of the wings is pretty simple. Just remember to drill out holes for hard points if you're going to put anything on it. Basic assembly, very quick and easy, so it doesn't look too difficult at all. Choice of the different, whether you want the Volks filter on it or just the standard nose. So once again, depending on which one you're going to do. Belly fuel tank, love that. I reckon that's a cool addition. You've got different options with the radiators too, so you can change the vents on these. More part options depending on what variant you're building, and options as to whether or not you want the landing gear up or down, so they're separate parts as well, which is neat. They've really put a lot of thought into this, and yeah, it's really good. It's exciting. I know it sounds silly. I know this kit's been around for a while, and I really haven't had much of a look at it, but it's good to see. Just how much effort the Airfix is going to these days. It's great. And if you have a look here, different exhausts, once again, different nose cones, propellers. It's so many options with this. I love it. Really well done. And this just goes to what we were saying about the canopies. So you've got your two different canopies there. You see the difference in those, and whether or not you want to have the canopy open, so it shows you that, or the canopy closed. Shows you that. So really easy, simple instructions to follow as well. And it just gives you a couple of diagrams of the completed plane. So the instruction manual is awesome. I love it. Really clear and easy to follow. And you get some nice colour marking guides, and painting guides. So you're gonna love that. So that's the one from 1942 with the Vokes filter on it. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing that. And that's the historic flight one. So it's all there, colour call outs, easy, beautiful, really, really good. Decals. Moving on really quickly to the decals. I'll just put this out of the way a little bit. Very good. Nice register. They don't look overly thick. If anything, if the other kits are anything to go by, rather than, it should be a nice, easy build with these. So I'm looking forward to them. We just look at the detail on that there. I mean, they're really printed really well. So very happy with those. And the cockpits. So the canopies, I left these in the bag, I'm sorry, but it's just try and stop me from scratching them. Less work the better. If I'm scratching them and I have to polish them up, I'll be annoyed. But everything comes bagged in the kit, so I just thought I'd leave these there, but you can see the difference and the part options there, so very good. Fuselage. So we've got our fuselage here. Detail on the fuselage is really nice. It's moulded really well. Seam line, no seam line, sorry. The panel lines are very nice, and you've got some raised detail around the nose there. Very good, love it. Turning it over, if you do decide to cut out the door, you've got some detailing on the inside too, which is good. So you've got that there. Bit of cleanup might be required for some of these injector pin marks, but not much. Very minor, and they might get in the way of the assembly of the cockpit tub if you don't clean them up, but I think once that's installed, you won't see them anyway, just as long as the fit's okay. Wings, so just looking really quickly at the inside of the upper wing, so a tiny bit of detail in there for the landing gear bays, not too bad. And looking on the underside there, really nice recessed panel lines, beautiful work, so it's really, really lovely. And now on the 1/72nd scale Airfix kits, I tend to find, well, my personal opinion is some of the engraving is a little bit thick for the scale, probably a bit too deep, but it's fine, I still like it. It's a similar depth on this scale, but because it's a larger size, it just seems to match the scale a lot more. And there's your different nose section there, or half of it, which you put underneath the filter. Very nice. Very nice. I'll just give you a look at some of the other parts. Now we've got the external fuel tank here, and some of the options for the exhausts. That's your, as we we're talking about, the canopies, so that's the different fuel tank and cockpit setup for the canopy. I'm sure that's the same, but it's just this area here which is different. And then you've got your different spinners for the nose cone, which is fantastic. All right. Underside of the nose for the historic flight edition. Really, really lovely, really good. Moving on to this, that's the other section for the cockpit, different choice, and that's the internals for the tub that you build up. So you can see the ribbing here, cockpit controls there, and I'll just, forgive me, there we go. Who's the monkey working the camera? There we are. Yeah, so look at the detail on that, really nice. Love it. Love it. Now, yes, you can go out and buy more expensive kits and get, possibly better detail. Not the end of the world. That's for your cockpit too, so just in case you muck up the other part, you've got a bit there. Yeah, you can go out and spend, a lot more money and get much higher detailed kits, or you can go out and spend a lot of money on aftermarket parts for this if you really wanted to. I really don't. I think the kit is going to build up quite nicely. I mean, the detail on the rudder there is really nice. Yeah, so it's going to build up quite nicely. I'm not really too fussed about over detailing this one. Now, the only real flaw that I found with the moulding is on this part here. So you can see the chest of the pilot, and I'm just going to change this. Hang on a sec. Okay, so going to the only real flaw that I found in the kit, and that is this here. So the little sink mark in the middle of the pilot makes it look like someone's botched a tracheotomy on the poor guy. It's a bit low for that, but yeah, I don't think of anything else to say. Yeah, so that's, if you want to include the figure, you've got to fix that, but it's not a huge issue. Other than that, the build is going to be really simple and really nice. There's really very little cleanup to do. All the parts are lovely. So, thank you very, very much, Airfix. Really stoked about this kit. Looking forward to making it. So, plenty of detail. Not a huge price. What more do you want? Really good. So Airfix, keep them coming. Thank you. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you like this review and you want to see more, please like, subscribe, share, whatever. If you didn't like this review, not a problem. I'd like to know why, because I'd like to increase my viewing audience, and I'd like to show you stuff that you're interested in. So if you didn't like it, just send us some feedback, and we'll see if we can incorporate it into the next videos. Thank you very much.